national championship defenses recently. He's done a lot more as a coach than what your boy has done at Notre Dame.
I don't give a shit about that. What he's done recently, play a fucking schedule. Play a fucking schedule, and then I'll have that conversation.
Coming from a Notre Dame fan, the first time they ever fucking play a schedule, and we're gonna hear this shit.
Well, I didn't say that. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. The first time you've
ever played a schedule, and we're going to hear that shit.
I agree.
When they got the Georgia game pulled from you. I don't want to hear that shit.
I agree.
Get out of here.
Yeah, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it because it's
a Let's go! Welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you're definitely in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame College Football. Yeah, folks.
So,
yeah, listen. No, and it's a big dang deal. I'm asking from the high point of a Georgia fan. I appreciate y'all being open to talk. Yeah, we're always open to talk. We're going to talk it up anyway. We appreciate you being in here, for real. Yeah, okay, so Georgia has a shot at it. Hey, look, I don't disagree. I think that there's also, I think it's just a hard thing to do. We haven't seen it done.
It has nothing to do with football. It's all about mental. Again, I tell people, man, there's true juniors on this
not being really
team
tested so far. Throughout the year. If the first time you get tested is in the playoff, is that bad?
No, not for Georgia, because your practices literally have more talent.
I get that.
They do. I mean, that's not even to be like, oh, we all that, but that's why Alabama was able to do, because the SEC West ain't always been good during this Alabama run.
Teams are like that. I remember them talking about that.
Clemson, when they was winning theirs, it's not like the ACC was great, but they had great defenses. So they're, Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson was able to play against that defense every single day. And it's like, when you get out there on Saturday, are you going to see a more talented team than you see every week? A different team, maybe. I think I think it's possible. It's just hard, man. It's like complacency again, man. It's if you don't have something to get these 18 to 22 years olds up in there, mentally, that's hard, bro. Again, these juniors haven't lost but one game, and they don't know what it is not to win a national championship. You talking about big-headed, bro? At 19, I'd been walking around campus like, you can't tell me jack.
Coach, do they win it?
It's hard.
Coach, you think they win it? They're going to win 3-peat, okay?
I think so. Ain't no who else is going to beat them right now? Give me their name.
I think it's pretty wide open.
No, give me a name of somebody who's going to beat them.
Washington can beat them. I think Washington can beat them.
That may be the only one, because there ain't nobody else that's going to beat them. And I'm going to tell you, there's a flip side to what we're talking about too. When we're talking about those kids have not been beat, they're just used to winning national championships. Well, you know what? When you get used to that, then your expectation is you're not going to give that shit away. There is a flip side to that too. You can get complacent, but you also got you got that swagger.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
And so what are they going to do now? History tells us that it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, guys, they're fixing to make history because they're going to 3-peat.
I will say this about Washington. If we were to play Washington in the playoffs, if they're going to beat us, they got to get us in the first round like Ohio State, where they have the whole 28 to 30 days. You're not going to do it in 1 week and then come. Like, if we had to play the Ohio State flip, it's TCU first and then Ohio State, I think we beat Ohio State much more convincingly. I
agree. And I think that they probably overlooked Ohio State a little bit too anyway, because they just watched them get housed.
You know what I'm saying?
guys, I know y'all feel good about Washington. That shit ain't happening. They're not going to beat Georgia.
I mean, Arizona
they're the type of team that we talk about matchup styles make fights.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're that type of team that can do it. But I don't know that anybody's necessarily going to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
JJ, do they win it?
I think as we sit here today, I think when you look at these teams, there might be a different answer potentially, and I would say it's maybe 3 or 4 weeks when there's more of a body of work. But I think as of right now, man, I think their quarterback play can be improved. But when you look at this team overall from just top to bottom, I want to see them without Brock Bowers first. But I know this team, man. I've watched them enough. I got them at a 3P right now. I just think that they're tough. They're fast. They practice at a different level. They're dogs, man. Talk to any Georgia player. I mean, heck, like I told you, I got a guy on the staff that's down there. They practice at a different level. I mean, Kirby is up your ass. I mean, it's just a different level. That's why they're getting guys drafted at the highest rate going to the National Football League. And the guys that go in the NFL, they're absolute studs. Go look at Georgia University in the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles. Go look at that roster, just full of all Georgia guys. Whenever they talk, the first thing they say, Broderick Jones here in Pittsburgh. He's with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's going to be our starting left tackle here going forward. He had a hell of a game this past weekend. He just said, this past week, he said, look, I was prepared for this moment because when we went to the national championship and we were preparing for the college football playoff, we had a choice. And Kirby gave us a choice. Do we want to go hard as hell and practice hard as hell going all the way up to the game? Or do we want to start laying it back? He goes, hell no. We went full tilt. I think Georgia was the only team, maybe besides Ohio State, because Ohio State had something to prove because they get into the playoff and they get their ass kicked every time. But Georgia is a staple of what they want to do, and that's hard-nosed football. They got the pads on every single day leading up to the college football playoff, leading up to the national title game. Yeah. I just think they're just a different type of dudes, man. They're a different type of dudes, different type of coaching staff. Haven't seen a team like that yet. We'll see here in about 4 or 5 weeks what that's going to look like. But I do have them winning it.
And their second team. We talk about depth in college football, man, and their depth. Their second team kicks a lot of people's asses in college football.
Oh yeah.
And
that's why you're not beating them. That's why you're not beating them when they play bad.
Yeah,
exactly.
And also, like when you talk about it, it's not just, can your players, line up and play, because a lot of teams have players. But I said that about TCU. Sure. TCU was able to do that all the time, but TCU hadn't been on that stage. That matters when you coaching. You tell you prepare your players, and you know, hey, we've been here before, players. Let's just go out here and do the thing. The other coach is trying to hype his guys up because they haven't been in that atmosphere. And so you see what happened to TCU. They start out a whole bunch of false start penalties. They fumbled the ball.
Hadn't been in the Rose Bowl or the.
That's what I'm saying.
And they freaking went in and beat USC.
They did.
It's that, but I mean, when you watch,
but that's an exception. You can't make the exception the rule. The rule. I mean, and again, the exception is
you got to win. You got to win your first one to win your first one, though. To get all that experience in these things, you got to win one.
Hey, I'm not on here saying that. I'm actually. I got a little bit more doubt than Coach and JJ, but just because of. Like I say, I know how hard it is to repeat, but I agree with everything they saying, though.
I don't see it happening. I haven't been as impressed with Georgia, and I've been watching you guys, and I think that they're good. I think that they're good everywhere, and I think they're going to run through the rest of the SEC. If they were to lose one, I could see Bama somehow coming up with a game plan. In the end, I don't think Bama has it. I don't see that probably happening, but I do. I believe that they're gonna get to defend their title. And I think that there's two teams that could beat them, and we'll find out if they do.
Who are the two?
Washington and Oklahoma can both beat them.
Oklahoma hadn't played a damn soul except Texas. You guys your fucking heads have gotten this big. Y'all have won some damn games, and our heads are this fucking big. Y'all ain't played shit.
Okay.
Read off your schedule again. Read off your schedule.
They've done what they're supposed
Y'all
to
played.
do with everything.
Y'all played Odessa. Y'all played Odessa High School. Y'all played Barwise Junior High. Y'all, come on, man.
Oh, listen.
I
will say this,
guys. I know we got lots of Oklahoma fans, but y'all getting way too full of your shit.
Listen, I will say this to Jason's defense. I feel like if from what we saw Auburn do to Georgia in that particular week, at the beginning of the year, had Oklahoma been on our schedule, I think they would have been close to beating us or beat us because they was playing at home. Do I feel like the same way at the end of the year? No, because I feel like Kirby will figure it out. But yes, if they was on our schedule to what we saw against Auburn and how their quarterback ran on us, because Dylan Gabriel can run and he can throw. But like I say, I told Jason this already. It's like, but going down the line, I think Kirby's gonna have time to adjust to that. I mean, we gotta play Tennessee, we gotta play Ole Miss. We're probably gonna have to play Alabama or LSU. So we're gonna face at least 3 more Russian quarterbacks, if not 4, and 2 of those guys can actually pass. So in the playoffs, do I believe that? No. But today, I mean, if it's at Oklahoma,
I'll tell you one thing. He has had national championship defenses recently. He's done a lot more as a coach than what your boy has done at Notre Dame.
I don't give a shit about that. What he's done recently, play a fucking schedule. Play a fucking schedule, and then I'll have that conversation.
Coming from a Notre Dame fan, the first time they ever fucking play a schedule, and we're gonna hear this shit.
Well, I didn't say that. I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
You've ever played a schedule, and we're gonna hear that shit.
I agree.
When they got the Georgia getting pulled from me, I don't want to hear that shit. I agree. Get out of here.
Yeah, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it because it's a fact.
You know
it's a fact.
They're gonna have to.
You know it is a fact. Look at your damn schedule.
Everybody that's done what they're supposed to do. Have they not?
Look at your schedule.
Notre Dame didn't.
Well, I'm not talking about Notre Dame. We got our ass kicked.
I know what the schedule is. I'm
just telling you, y'all's schedule does not set you up.
How many times have I said that they have to be undefeated to even get into the playoff?
They won't be because Texas is going to beat them in the championship game.
Really? That's not what you said before. You said that you keep saying Texas is going to piss down their leg again and not even make it in.
And they always do.
Then what? So you're changing your mind or you're not?
You know what? Because you're pissing me off, I'm changing my mind.
You're pissing me off too. Coach. You came in here running that mouth.
But no, I'm not running my mouth.
Yeah,
I'm stating facts.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm stating facts. The fact that your schedule sucked. That's the fact.
Again, coming from somebody who they'd never play a freaking schedule.
Hey, I'm not talking about Notre Dame. I'm talking about OU.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not hit the like button, right now is the time to do that.
We're giving this, hey man, you can't find this kind of content. You know what I'm saying?
That right there has got us at least 100 viewers right there. You're welcome, folks. That's why we're here. That's why you're there. It's
if this is your first time tuning in to the College Football Hall of Fame, this is Jason's show and Coach's show together. So that is host and co-host going at it.
And I love coaching. We're gonna be fine. But I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna tell each other exactly how it is. And look, they turn people over. They're gonna play, and you know damn good and well that this defense is good enough to go and win. It is. I'm not saying that they're definitely gonna do it. I'm saying they
win against who? To win against
anybody in the country. Anybody in the country. Anybody in the country. They could. I'm not saying that they're definitely going to do it. I'm telling you they can beat anybody in the country.
Coach was holding that shit in the entire time. He was waiting for it.
He doesn't have to like it. He's upset. He's upset because of where Notre Dame's at. That's what it is. He's been pissed off for 3 weeks, and he's staying that way. And I get it, but it doesn't change the fact that they have a defense that can get it done. Plus an offense that can freaking put up points too. They're as complete as anybody in the country. They are.
Okay.
They're deep too. They're playing 30 guys on defense. 30 guys on defensive play.
We'll see.
We will. You're right. We will.
And I'm gonna be laughing my ass off. But here we go. Rock and roll.
Do y'all have any significant injuries, Jason?
We have a couple. We have definitely lost Andrew Anthony for the year. Their deepest is probably there at the receiver position, though. And then they lost Harrington a few weeks before that, and he's out for the year. But and again, that cheetah position, that basically means you're going to see more Peyton Bowen, who needs to be on the field more, and then you're going to see more of and then of course.
Hey, that's
as far.
Yeah,
hey, listen.
Off right there too, Peyton Bowen, because he missed. Yeah.
Hey,
and then you've also got
I agree with the commenter. Everybody in the comments, man. Georgia's schedule hadn't been there. Hadn't been there neither. But I will defend my dogs and say, literally, we've been down like 6 starters on offense and 5 starters on defense. So. I'm interested to see what we look like as we get healthy, and I think we saw a little bit of that against Kentucky too, because that was Kendall Milton's first whole game.
McCullough, I was just saying
that was only Ladd McConkey's second game. Dejon Edwards didn't play the first 2 games. Like we got a wide receiver at running back, bro. Like I mean, come on now, this is Georgia. When last time we had to find a running back, like because of the injuries, but. I think, like Coach said, I think our second string is good enough to get us there. And by the time we get there, I think you can see a totally different Georgia team because everybody will start getting healthy. Like Ladd, I think Ladd's going to get off against Florida, especially since Brock isn't there.
I think Florida's shitty. I think y'all should get off. I don't like them. I don't think they're good.
I think
we're gonna do what you said. We're gonna beat them like we should beat them. Like
you should. Hey, I agree with that. I said I don't think that. I don't see y'all really getting tested the rest of the year in the SEC. Maybe if you get Bama in the championship game.
I think Ole Miss will bring a good game to Athens, but they do come to Athens. So
yeah. When is he going to win a big one? You know what I mean? Until and as much as I actually like Lane, but it's when Lane wins a big one, it'll be the first time he has.
And then, like Coach said, I think.